there came this moment where my entire world reduced to my thumb. So it is Sunday morning. I'm in Southern Illinois at my parents' house, and I've had some time to think about what happened on Friday afternoon. And I want to go ahead and begin this video. I promised with the topic of the tumor. It was really busy Friday. Got out of school, ran right to the doctor's office, and into the examination room. And the doctor comes in and pulls the MRI up, starts talking, and starts going over, what he saw in the MRI. And he kept saying tumor, tumor, tumor. And there was one of the things that I guess that comes from my mental health background is there's more to what is communicated than just the exact words. And so combining my uncertainty with the way the doctor was talking, there came this moment where my entire world reduced to my thumb. And in that moment, there was this brief, I was like, why is he so urgent about getting this surgery done? And I didn't really quite come to an answer, and he went on, and I asked him some questions about what the procedure was going to do and the risks, and he kept saying to me, it's almost certainly not malignant. It's almost certainly not going to affect the mobility and the usability of the thumb. It's almost certainly not, all of those things that you want to hear. And then he sent in the scheduling person, and suddenly it became aware to me that as soon as possible was, can you come in 5 days from now, 6 days from now? And by the way, between now and 6 days, you have to do all these other things, so EKG and blood test, and so this is obviously my first brush with a tumor, and it's, I think, not unusual to kind of go tumor, C word, cancer. And the doctor was very encouraging. He was very certain that almost surely nothing bad was going to happen, and he was going to do this and that and this procedure and that procedure and take this caution and this precaution, and almost surely it's not, and the MRI would have shown. So some people say I'm sort of Peter Pan-ish, Pollyanna-ish, very hopeful and very almost carefree about things to come. And I would say a lot of the reason that I am that way is my faith gives me reason, confidence in my faith and in my relationship spiritually. I pretty clearly follow the Christian traditions, and I try to follow them very, very closely. And as a result of that, I feel like the future is it's not always going to be rosy and great, but I do sort of attack the future with the idea that things are going to work out. And so this, and then the way the doctor's urgency, my everything is going to work out mentality, and this sort of, well, we need to get this as soon as possible, and hey, can you come in next Thursday? I suddenly found myself going, wait a minute. It wasn't until a few hours later, as I was driving, that I began to process that and think about that. And, it could equally be a pragmatic fiduciary reason to get it done as soon as possible. If he had openings in his schedule next Thursday, it would be good for him to fill those openings. And so, on reflection, his urgency, his scheduler's how about next Thursday could well as been fiduciary as it was medical. all day yesterday when I was working, doing things for my folks, I was kind of like ruminating on this, and I'm going to bring this to a close. And I certainly don't want to say a soft tissue fatty tumor on my thumb is one of those life-changing events. But it did give me a peek behind the curtain of people who have more serious forms of cancer, or tumors in more seriously located places, and so just kind of having that glimpse for that few seconds here and the few seconds there where the panic or adrenaline or where I was conflicted, I can only begin to imagine the depth of anxiety and uncertainty when it is a much more dangerous. So I'm going to be carrying that mentality forward with me as I go into this week. I'm going to try to hit the road really early tomorrow, which will be Monday. I'm going to try to get back to Lowell and try to get my tests done. And then I'll have Tuesday and Wednesday to get whatever tests, whichever I can't get them both done tomorrow. And then Thursday is the surgery, and then Friday is the recovery visit, and that's when I'll, end this video. So I hope you'll join me on this journey. I hope you'll go with me as I explore this very, hopefully, routine and non-critical soft tissue fatty tumor removal process. And while I'm going through this, I'm going to be thinking about my relatives who have been and who are going through more serious forms of cancer, and all the people who might be facing a deeper level of uncertainty than I am or I was. So let's go on this journey together. What do you think about that? It's Monday morning. I am on my way back home. I've got to get some tests done as soon as possible for my thumb surgery for the tumor removal. But so I got a story to introduce the segment where I'm going to try to call and see about an EKG. So I was driving along on my way here from I just left my parents' house a few hours ago, and phone rings, the 901 phone number, which is the Memphis area. And usually that's either someone who is asking for a donation to support something, or it's a solicitor trying to sell me aluminum siding or something. So I answer the phone, and the person says, hello, I'm a nurse at Northwest Surgery Center, and I'm just calling to check on Mrs. Smith. I said, I don't know anyone named Mrs. Smith. But I thought it was kind of ironic that a surgery center was calling, got this. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, I must have the wrong number. We confirmed he had the wrong number. And that reminded me, because his accent was so drastically. Now, I know a lot of people say I have a southern accent. And sometimes I recognize that. But it's not as bad. I've heard others. And this nurse, Mr. Whoever he was, had a pretty serious southern accent. Remind me of a Jeff Foxworthy story. He says anyone with a southern accent automatically loses about 25 IQ points, he says. He says, and I don't do a lot of impersonations, but I do this one. He says, you don't want your surgeon talking with a southern accent. The last thing you want to hear when you're laying on the gurney is the doctor saying, what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole in your skull, and we're going to take this metal rod, we're going to root around inside your brain, and we find that dadburn tumor and take it out. So Jeff Foxworthy says that's not how you want your surgeon to talk. So anyway, that's my introduction to. I'm calling my general practitioner to see if they can do an EKG. So let's see if this works. I bet they do not. I can hold, thank you. I'm holding. Yes, I'm having an outpatient surgery done Thursday, and I'm supposed to get an EKG as soon as possible. Do you do EKGs in the office? I have a prescription, you know, they've written out, get an EKG and fax the... I mean, just go to walk into the emergency room. Go to admissions. Okay. All right. And there's no other places that'll do an EKG. If I just walk in, I don't need an appointment or anything. Okay. So just walk in and have it done. All right. Thank you. All right, bye. I gotta go to the hospital. Whatever. Anyway, next stop. So, all right, I'm back in home, lol. So I'm gonna go try to get this EKG and blood test. So. Off we go. All right, here we go. You have a very little needle, right?
You want me to use it by you?
Whatever you need. I know it doesn't hurt.
You have a nice one, so.
I know it doesn't hurt, but it's all psychological. But it's still a needle. The kids at school said you should get a tattoo. I was like, tattoo? You know that has needles, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Didn't even feel it.
Relax your face.
So that's half of the testing. That was literally painless. Literally. I did not feel the needle go in at all, so that's pretty good. So one more stop. All right, this EKG thing is going to be at the hospital, so I don't know how that's going to go. I do know it's not going to go as easily as that, because that was absolutely awesome. Yeah, there was no videoing in the, no. It's done. So that was really quick. It took about 20 times longer to get through the registration process than it did to actually have the whole heart thing checked. And the tech, a nice guy. So that was all good. So I'm done now. Now I have to wait till Thursday, and it's kind of sobering, the prospect of all this, and anyway, Yeah, we'll see what happens. See what kind of video we can get on Thursday. That'll be fun. So, all right. So it's Tuesday afternoon, and school is the bell's just about to ring, and I just wanted to throw a quick thought down. So I had explaining to kids and all why I was going to be absent Thursday, and then one of the teachers asked me some questions, and I was like, yeah. And so I started answering the questions, and as I answered the questions about the surgery, it was like, well, the doctor said I probably won't lose any mobility, and it probably isn't malignant, and it probably hasn't injured the bone. There's no evidence on the MRI that there's any damage, and it probably won't come back, but it might, and probably hasn't spread, and probably. And after I explained everything, and the teacher walked away, I was like, really, that's kind of the affect that I'm experiencing. Is just kind of like, So I'm always really optimistic and always really hopeful about things, and I am with this as well. But the reality is, it's what it is. So. Anyway, there are the thoughts for Tuesday. So it is a little bit after 7 on Wednesday. I have surgery in the morning at 7:45, and I just finished shooting another round of girls' tennis pictures, and I'm loading those up right now. And I shot a lot of pictures tonight. It's cold. It was surprisingly cold. It was very sunny and very nice, but it was kind of nippy. So anyway, I guess as much as anything, I wanted to shoot them not only because we need them for the media and yearbook and all that, but just to give me something to do tonight, because I just didn't want to sit around and separate on the thumb thing. So. A busy day. I didn't really have a lot of time to think about it, and that was good. But so tomorrow's the big day, or a little day, or hopefully it'll be a little day. The lady called me about all my meds and everything, and she wanted like a full medical history. She was like, yeah. So I told her about all my previous surgeries, and she goes, well, this will be nothing. So I hope she's right. Hope it is nothing compared to my previous surgeries. So. Anyway, that's all I got. So get home, get to bed, get up in the morning, go do this thing. All right, so it is Thursday morning, and I'm ready to go hit the surgery center. See how much of this I can record and share as I go through the day. But I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot, but there we go. I think that's pretty much it.
There's incisions, please. Can you just...
Okay, I'll tell him right now.
Yeah, they didn't wrap that up.
I just sat back there and watched stupid TV the whole time. So here's your. You didn't eat it?
No.
You gonna get in lunch or anything?
Do you want lunch?
No, not right now. So, all right, that was that. That was this. It's like, why is the phone so important? And I was like, I just didn't want to lose it. So, not necessarily 100% of the truth, but I didn't want to lose it. So we are on the way home. Stopped to get something to drink because, yeah, mouth is very dry and thick. And then just rest today and go back tomorrow for a bandage check, I guess. So that's kind of where it is. So probably not nearly as exciting as I had in my head that it was going to be. So no pain at this point, a lot of numbness, and there's that. So all right, so surgery was yesterday, and I'm going back just a few minutes. I'm heading back for a check, whatever, they're gonna check it. So here's a quick thought. Things that are exponentially harder when you cannot use the thumb on your dominant hand. Keyboard and mouse, harder. Buttons, contact lenses, everything in the bathroom, exponentially harder if you can't use your dominant thumb. Just a few things from this morning getting ready to go that has come to mind. So, all right, I'm getting ready to head out, and you're gonna come with me, and we'll wrap this video up. Up the road. Alright, so got this guy instead of the guy that I bought at the drugstore, and he said everything looks good, and to wear this is pretty much, and see him in 2 weeks. So that's pretty much the end of this little adventure. I have a feeling this is going to be a long video that very few people will really be interested in, but if you're one of the people who found this somehow like-worthy, hit that like button, share with someone else. I guess the reflection on the whole experience was that I come to this point and I'm really relieved. Relieved that my fingers move. I'm relieved that there's no evidence of malignancy. I'm relieved that, I can still feel, so all those worries, and, they turn out to be unfounded, but, I guess you never know. So anyway, good fortune for me. And I always kind of have that optimistic, hopeful, everything's going to work out attitude, which, I don't know if that's a healthy thing or if that's naivety, but, that's what it is. So, anyway, time to figure out how to edit videos with my left hand, or maybe I'll get a little more comfort going on here. And I guess that's all. Thanks for watching, and like, share, subscribe, comment. See you in the next episode.